Hello, Namaste. Welcome back to my channel, Fashionista. Today, I'm gonna show you how to repot an overgrown plant. So let's get started. Firstly, how do we identify a plant that is root bound? A few of the signs are that your plant and its leaves are droopy even after watering it. It feels like it's been dry for a very long time. No matter how long you wait, it does not recover. Another sign can be observed when you water your plants. The water from the planter drains out almost immediately. This happens because the soil eroded gradually and the roots have taken over. The roots in general do not have any water retention capacity. Third and the most important sign is that the roots are exposed from the drainage holes or from the above. Let's take a look at the roots here. You can see how they overgrew and got completely tangled due to restricted space. This is not always a bad thing, unless the health of your plant is being affected. Some plants really like being snug in their pots and yet put out a lot of new healthy growth. In this case, you can see how there's hardly any loose soil left at the bottom of the root ball. This lack of sufficient soil deprives the plant of essential nutrients, hence stalling its growth. The possible solutions are: 1. To repot this plant into a slightly bigger pot, and 2. To divide the plant into multiple smaller ones if there are more stems and repot them. I'm going to show you how I like to repot my plants. This is a variety of wandering Jew, Tradescantia zebrina. They can be grown indoors or outdoors. They flourish in a sunny spot. Indoors, these are very easy to grow, low maintenance plants that can be placed just about anywhere. Whether they're next to a window or on a side table, they will thrive with regular watering and pruning. Now let's look at our potting mix. I make my own potting mix with 4 parts of regular organic potting soil and 1 part each of perlite and sand. Since this potting mix came fresh out of a bag, I'm gonna skip fertilizing or adding compost. I add a little extra perlite and sand as I like to water my plants more often. If you are like me, you can follow this recipe or cut both perlite and sand in half and avoid frequent watering schedule. Also, I like to soak my potting mix in water beforehand as it makes it easier to work with. How to pick the right kind of pot. Choose a pot that's only 20 to 30% bigger than the root ball. For example, if your root ball is 3 inches wide and 3 inches deep, a 4 by 4 pot will be ideal. I like to save nursery grow pots and use them for later as inner pots. This is the pot my wandering Jew came in. In my opinion, this is the most efficient planter as it has holes all around and a receding bottom with more holes. This kind of a design helps in better drainage even when it is resting on a surface or inside a decorative pot, preventing waterlog. Now let's start the actual potting process. If you are dividing the plant into multiples, carefully split the roots, working from outside to inside. Be mindful not to break more than 30% of the roots. It doesn't hurt the plant a whole lot, even if you damage the fragile outside roots, but try to be careful not to mess with the big inside ones. And if you are repotting the full plant into a bigger pot, loosen the outside roots before going into the next step. Coming to the next step of potting the plants, I like to line the bottom surface and the side walls with the potting mix halfway through and press it down so the soil doesn't move, and then insert my plant. Fill rest of the space on the sides and then pack the plant and the new soil tightly together. This is where the wet soil comes in handy. Now that I'm done repotting my plants, I'm gonna water these 3 thoroughly until the water comes out of the drainage holes. It's always recommended that you water your plants right after repotting. Now comes the fun part of decorating and styling. Since I potted my plants in nursery grow pots, I would like to put them in no-hole decorative pots and place them in different areas around the house for a pop of color and some fresh air. And before I wrap up, I would like to share some helpful tips and tricks for a healthy garden that I have learned over the years. Watering. Not all plants like same amount of water. Some plants like it moist and some like to dry out completely before the next feed. But the general rule of thumb is to stick your thumb into the soil. If the top 1 to 2 inches feels dry, it's a good time to water your plant. Fertilize. Feed your plants every 2 to 3 weeks in growing season when the temperatures are above 65 Fahrenheit, and cut back in winter months. I use liquid seaweed fertilizer for my indoor plants and worm castings for my outdoor plants. For potted plants, it's a good idea to rotate and turn them in their spot, so all their sides have equal access to light and air. And give them a gentle shake every few days. This helps in a stronger stem and root system. Pruning. Pruning is hurting your plants gently and asking it to heal itself. If you have a plant that's slowing down in its growth, pruning is your tool. Or if your plant is suffering with damaged foliage, prune all of the unhealthy parts, and in no time you'll see new growth and the overall plant's health improve. Caring. Every month, check on your plants, look under the leaves and along the stems. Look for discoloration or infestations and treat accordingly. Alright then, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you got to learn something new today. If you disagree with any of the information or would like to add to it, please comment below. And as always, please like, share and subscribe to my channel, Fashionista. Thank you. Bye-bye.